Hello and welcome to E-Lectures. Today we are going to discuss the poem On Killing a Tree, which comes as a poetic piece attached to your chapter on conservation of resources, which is given in your text Ecoscapes. And On Killing a Tree becomes very significant here because if you can remember, the chapter on conservation of resources ended with a paragraph on deforestation. And it stated that deforestation is a major threat to the conservation of natural resources and the biodiversity of the earth. It is to reiterate and underscore this particular fact that the editors have provided an extract based on deforestation or killing of trees, and they have rightly chosen the poem On Killing a Tree by Jeev Patel. So let's move on to the poem On Killing a Tree by Jeev Patel, and before that let me give you an introduction to Jeev Patel. Jeev Patel by profession is a physician. He is a doctor, and at the same time he is also a poet, a playwright, as well as a painter who has done lot of sketches and who has conducted lot of exhibitions at various places, even abroad. And he is a poet, a person who belongs to the green movement. And if you can remember, green movement is something that was referred to in the last paragraph on the chapter Conservation of Natural Resources, wherein it is said that writers, they do not want to harm the environment. Therefore, they make use of recycled substances. They make use of paper that is recycled in order to write. So they don't want to harm trees. So that is called as a green movement. So Jeev Patel is a poet, a person, a writer who belongs to the green movement, who wants to protect the environment, who is completely against the destruction of trees. Now, the themes of his poetry are mainly on the human body, physical death, pain and transience. Why so? Because he is a doctor. He is quite familiar with the human body, the working of the human body, the transience of it. He has seen a lot of people suffering and enduring a lot of pain. Therefore, almost all his poems are based on the human body. At least the human body is often taken up as a metaphor. And On Killing a Tree is also written in a similar nature, where a tree is equated to a human body. So the themes are mainly on human body, physical death, pain and transience. And he has also touched upon topics like caste discrimination, violence and conflict. And the poem of our concern, On Killing a Tree, it appears in the collection Poems that was published in 1966 by another famous Indian English poet, Nizam Ezekiel. So much about Jeev Patel. Now moving on to the poem On Killing a Tree. Now let me read you the first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. So it takes much time to kill a tree. It is not as simple as you think. Killing or cutting down a tree is not a simple thing. It takes a lot of time. Why? Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It is not enough that you take a knife or an axe to the tree and cut it down. It is not a simple task. It is not as easy as you think. Why? Because it has life in it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth. It is growing up. The tree has grown just like a child grows up, consuming, feeding, being fed by the mother. So here too, for the tree, the earth is its mother. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth. So it is rising out of the earth, taking in resources from the earth, feeding upon its crust. Feeding upon its crust is taking in nutrients from the surface of the earth. Whatever food it can find on the surface or below the surface of the earth, it is taken through the roots. And absorbing years of sunlight. requires a lot of time. The growth of a tree is a very slow process. It requires years for the tree to grow up, sprout up into a big, shoot out into a big tree. So it has been consuming the sunlight, it has been taking in air from around it, it has been taking in water from under the surface of the earth, and taking in all these nutrients. It would slowly start sprouting leaves from the leprous hide. Leprous hide is the skin, or the hide is the skin that covers the tree, and there would be small sore like substances on the surface of the tree. It is from these small sores that the leaves would be sprouting. So it is not easy for us to kill a tree. So here what the poet has done is, the tree is equated to a human body. It is just like a human body. The tree is also like a human body. Just like the human body takes in nutrients given to it by the mother as a child, the tree also takes in nutrients from the surface of the earth. So when you take an axe to the tree, remember, the tree has got life. It is not easy for us to kill it. It is not easy for us to just cut it off or sever it from the earth. So this is what Jeev Patel, this is a speciality of Jeev Patel. Jeev Patel is a doctor. He is familiar with the human body. He knows how the human body works. So similarly, he is equating the human body to a tree. The tree is also like a human body. It has got life in it. So just like a human being takes in or absorbs nutrients, similarly, the tree also absorbs nutrients from the surface of the earth. So the earth is its mother. Now moving on to the next stanza. The next stanza goes like this. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So hack and chop is, hack is to cut off, chop again shares a similar meaning. It means to cut off. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. So if you have a feeling that you can hack and chop off a tree, cut off a tree as mercilessly as that, it will not do. That alone will not kill the tree. Not so much pain will do it. The tree will also be enduring a lot of pain as you go and cut it down. But that will not end there. Why? The bleeding bark will heal. So this is another property of the human body. If our body gets wounded, quite naturally after some time, the wound will be healed and we are cured of the wound. The wound is healed. Similarly, the tree will also heal the wound that we cause on it by cutting or chopping. The bleeding bark will heal. You must have noticed when we go and cut the tree, there is an oozing substance. A substance would ooze, or the tree would secrete a substance that would ooze from its wound. So the bleeding bark, that is actually the bleeding of the tree. Just like we bleed when there is a cut or a wound on our hand or on our body. Similarly, the tree will also bleed. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs. So from the part from where we have cut off the twig, another twig would of a similar nature would be sprouting out. So and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to form a size. So if you're not going to cut it off again, that would grow and finally reach a big position. It will actually grow into a bigger size. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to form a size. So trees will also bleed like humans when injured, and the oozing sap is considered to be their blood. But whatsoever, trees also have the ability to heal themselves, and they would sprout again to life, and you will not be able to stop it. So now we are moving on to the third stanza. In the first stanza, he told us about the tree that consumes nutrients from the earth, just like human beings consume nutrients in order to grow up. And in the second stanza also, he equated the tree to a human being, because just like human beings heal themselves, heal the wounds that are caused on the body, the tree also has the ability to heal itself and sprout out into its former size. And now moving on to the third stanza, it goes like this. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely. out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Now, he was telling us that it is not possible for us to simply take a knife or an axe to the tree and cut it off and think that the tree is dead. No, what have we to do? The root is to be pulled out. If you want to kill the tree completely, what you have to do is you have to pull out its root. You have to fight with it. You have to pull out the tree from the inside of the earth, out of the anchoring earth. The earth is what supports the tree. The earth is its mother. The earth is what nurtures a tree. So there is a very strong tie-up between the tree and the earth. So if you want to kill it, you have to pull it out of the earth that supports it, that endorses it. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out. You have to tie a rope around the tree. You have to cut it, you have to tie it, and you have to pull it out of the earth. Snapped out, take out. Snap out is to break out of the earth suddenly, not just out of earth. Snap out is to break suddenly. So the tree has to be snapped out, it has to be pulled out, it has to be broken away from the earth, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, because the roots would be sending itself into the depth of the earth, and it would be strongly clutching the earth. So it is not easy for us to pull out a tree. And the strength of the tree exposed. So if you want to kill the tree completely, you will have to pull it out entirely from the cave of the earth, from the pit that has been formed because of the strong clutching of the roots, and the strength of the tree exposed. And you will be exposing the strength of the tree. You can never enter into an open battle with a tree, because you're going to expose its strength. It is not possible for human beings to battle with the strength of a tree. And once you are determined, you will have to tie it, you will have to rope it, tie it, and pull it out of the earth that is strongly supporting it. And in that way, you will be exposing the strength of the tree. The source white and wet, the most sensitive. And once you pull it out, you can come across white substances there. Perhaps it could be the secretion of the tree that is helping it to stick itself to the earth. So white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. So the relationship between the earth and the tree is a very sensitive one. They have been embracing each other for years, and therefore it is a very sensitive issue. It is a very emotional scene to see the tree being pulled out of the earth that is holding it for years inside the earth. For the tree has been hiding itself, hiding its strength inside the earth. So here we have to remember the tree also has got emotional ties with the earth, because in the first stanza itself it was said that the earth is something that provides. So the earth is what provides nutrients to the trees. The earth is like the tree's mother. So it hurts to be pulled off. You cannot, just like it's a kind of a separation between a mother and a child. A mother will never want to get separated from the child. So similarly, when you pull a tree out of the earth, it's similar to taking away a child from its mother, because the roots have been very strongly laid inside the earth. So just like a mother holds the child to her breast, similarly the earth has been holding the tree to it. So it is quite an emotional and a very sensitive scene. So if you want to kill a tree, you will have to pull out the tree by the roots from the earth that is supporting it, and by doing that you will be only exposing the strength of the tree. Now to the last stanza. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So this is the final part, or this is where the tree dies. This is how you're going to kill the tree. Then the matter of scorching. So once you pull out the tree from the depths of the earth, then there is nothing left. You just have to leave it in the sun like that, so that it burns in the sun. It takes in the intense heat of the sun. It is not able to withstand it. It will stifle it will choke and stifle the tree, and it would be exposed to the sun and air, and ultimately it would start browning, it would harden, and it will curl itself, it will wither off, and finally the tree is dead. So on killing a tree, this is the process that you have to go through in order to kill a tree. It is not easy for us to kill a tree. It is not easy. It is not enough that you take an axe to the tree and cut it off. It will not kill the tree, because it will sprout again from the wound, it will once again sprout back to life. So if you want to kill the tree, you have to pull it out, you have to take off from its roots, and finally you have to leave it in the sun to be choked and killed. It will brown, harden, twist, wither, and finally it is gone. So this is the motive or theme of the poem. It tells that we have to refrain from killing trees. This is a very strong message against deforestation and killing of trees, because trees also have life. They also are like human beings. They do form a very important source or resource of the earth. So with this, I come to the end of the lecture. Thank you.